Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video I am going to be giving you an update on some more transfer news, keeping up to date of what players are linked with Manchester United. So obviously today I've been talking with you, haven't I, about Jadon Sancho on my recent videos. Also kept you up to date of what's going on with Harry Kane. Also, spoken with you about Werner, Erling Halland. Obviously, my last video, I give you the news on Paul Pogba and that. So, like I said, I do, keep you up to date as much as I can of what's going on in the mainstream media. So, according to Sky Sports, which is a very reliable source, they've actually said that Manchester United and Manchester City have expressed their interest in Dayot Upamecano from RP Leipzig. Do let me know in the comments below if I have pronounced his name wrong, because I think his name's actually hard to pronounce, but there again, I might have pronounced it right. But anyway, it says Man United and Manchester City have expressed their interest in him. Also, too, I think Arsenal have been in for him in the past. Obviously, Arsenal are in search for a centre-half. Even though, I think they've got William Saliba, haven't they, coming in the summer from St Etienne. Don't forget, they've also too got David Luiz. They've also got Pablo Mario. I think, they signed back in January, of course, under Mikel Arteta. City, of course, are looking for someone to go alongside Laporte in their back line. And, of course, we're in search for a centre-half. I think also too Real Madrid and Bayern Munich have expressed their interest in Dayot Upamecano. Now, Dayot Upamecano, I think, is in his third season with RP Leipzig. I think he's made around 76 appearances in the Bundesliga, and I think he's scored around 3 goals. I think now he's into the final year of his contract with RP Leipzig. And I think he does have a release clause of around 60 million euros, which equates to just over 52 million in pounds sterling. So that's how much the player is going to cost. Obviously, I think RP Leipzig did pay around, was it 10 million euros for him from Red Bull Salzburg. That's how much they did pay for him. So reportedly now, according to media outlets today, Manchester United have expressed an interest in the player. He is very, very young. He is only at the age of 21. So, do you think he'd do well if he was to come to Manchester United? Now, like I said, we've got a lot of centre-halves in our team. Obviously, we've got Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof as our first choice centre-halves. I've got to say, I think Harry Maguire's done really, really well for us since his arrival from Leicester last summer, because we paid £80 million for Harry Maguire last summer. He's the second most expensive signing at the club, and he's the most expensive centre-half in the world. And I think, we did make the right decision by giving Harry Maguire the captaincy on a permanent basis. We're giving the captaincy reflecting on Ashley Young's departure. So yeah, Maguire's done well, and I've got to credit Lindelof because I think he's also done very, very well, and he's gone well alongside Maguire in our back line. Lindelof, of course, now is into his third season at Manchester United. Didn't really, settling in his first season, struggled for consistency, but I think last season, this season, a lot of aspects of his game have really, really improved. Obviously, we've got Bay and Tuanzebe that are our, backups. I think, Bay's done well since he's come back from injury. He's a very, very good centre-half, Bay. My only element of concern is that, he's very injury-prone. Tuanzebe, I thought he did well earlier on in the season. I think he's just, come back from injury. So there's a lot of centre-halves. But another main explanation, why we want to get a centre-half in is because, it's looking like Phil Jones is going to be leaving Manchester United in the summer. Because Jones doesn't even get in the team now anyway. Jones is now into his 9th season as a Manchester United player. He's enjoyed 8 years here, and he's been here since the Alex Ferguson era. But yeah, I think we'll get rid of him. The future of Chris Smalling is uncertain, because I'm not going to fully disregard him coming back to Manchester United, because he could still come back to Man United after his loan spell with Roma. Don't forget, there was reports coming out, was it last week, like I updated you, saying that, Chris Smalling could come back to Manchester United, even though Roma do want to get him on a permanent basis. And I think Smalling's keen on remaining in Italy, but due to, to the coronavirus pandemic, a lot of teams are under financial pressure, and Roma have got financial difficulty, so maybe, they can't get Chris Smalling on a permanent basis. But there again, Arsenal have expressed their interest in him. And Chris Smalling, did enjoy 9 years with Manchester United, and I think he's still got 2 years remaining on his contract. But do you think Dayot Upamecano, would go well alongside Lindelof and Harry Maguire in our back line? Is he tall, if I'm right? I think he's supposed to be very, very effective in the air. He shows that ability to play out from the back, which is very, very good. But yeah, it will be very, very good, if we could get a centre-half in the summer transfer window. Obviously, there's been a few other centre-halves on our agenda, we revert back to last summer, before we got Harry Maguire in, that was, don't forget we was in for Koulibaly from Napoli. I think Man United are still in for Koulibaly now. Obviously, we've had Matthias de Ligt on our agenda. Don't forget there's been talks of him coming to Man United as part of the swap deal of Pogba going back to Juventus. But yeah, Dayot Upamecano, would be a much cheaper solution than Koulibaly, because I think probably Koulibaly would cost us close to the £100 million range to convince Napoli to offload him. So yeah, so that's been stemming from Sky Sports that Man United have expressed an interest in the player. So would you like to see him come to Manchester United? Let me know in the comments below. Now, also, I'm going to mention to you on this video, what striker do you think Manchester United should sign in the summer transfer window? Now, there has been quite a few strikers on our agenda. Now, Erling Haaland. Now, I think, a lot of Manchester United fans would like to see Erling Haaland come into the football club. Now, revert back to January, Manchester United, were in for him, and it was a shame, that we didn't get Erling Haaland back in January, because he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing, because Solskjaer knows the player really, really well. Revert back to, was it 3 years ago, Solskjaer was the one that gave Erling Haaland his debut when he was at Mould, and he was just the age of 16 when he got given his debut, was Erling Haaland and that. So Solskjaer, knows the player inside out. But it was a shame, that we didn't get him back in the January transfer window. Plus, it was a cheap solution as well, was Erling Haaland. He'd have only cost us around, 16 or 17 million pounds. Back in January, Ed Woodward and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, went to Norway to meet up with Erling Haaland over the possible move to Man United in the summer. Alfinch Halland, Erling Haaland's father, give the couple of main explanations why we didn't sign Erling Haaland in January. Is because, as you all know, there has been uncertainty over Solskjaer's future. Obviously, with no Champions League football to offer. Alfinch Haaland also said, he feels as though Man United didn't want Erling Haaland enough. Maybe if we'd have had Champions League football to offer, then maybe he could have come to Manchester United. But he made his decision, he went to join Borussia Dortmund, and I think he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his career with Borussia Dortmund. I think he's got 12 goals in his last 11 games. He's got 40 goals in total this season, including the goals that he scored when he was at Red Bull Salzburg. And he has got a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2024. And I think he's only the age of 19, or is it the age of 20 now, Erling Haaland. But yeah, we have reignited our interest, by the way, because recent reports did say that Man United and Real Madrid have expressed their interest in Erling Haaland. I think he's going to cost us in the £60-odd million range, because I think his release clause is around £63 million. So, would you take Erling Haaland at Manchester United in the summer? Because we're looking for an adequate replacement for Romelu Lukaku. But these are good 4 or 5 strikers on our agenda. So would you take Halland at Manchester United? Now, obviously, another striker that's been on our agenda is Timo Werner from RB Leipzig. Now, I'm actually, very, very sceptical that Manchester United will sign Timo Werner, when the transfer window reopens. I think he's actually, emerged as, Liverpool, are emerged as the favourites to sign Timo Werner. Because don't forget, was it back in February, Timo Werner was talking a lot about Liverpool, and he was saying Jurgen Klopp is the best manager in the world. So I think if he does leave RB Leipzig, Timo Werner, I think he will make a move to Liverpool. For Timo Werner to go to Liverpool though, Liverpool of course have got to offload one of their attacking trio in Salah, Firmino or Mane. So in that aspect, Timo Werner, gets game time week in, week out at Liverpool. I think Chelsea have also expressed their interest in Timo Werner. There's been a few clubs that have been in for him. He may not even leave Leipzig this summer, he could remain loyal to them at least for another season. The RP Leipzig chief executive, he came out recently and said, that Timo Werner, will remain at RP Leipzig and he won't be going anywhere in the summer. But yeah, it still said, that my club, Man United, have been in for him. He would cost around, 50 million, would it, Timo Werner? Because I think he's got a release clause of around £50 million. And it's due to expire at the end of this month. The good thing about Timo Werner as well, he can play in more than one position. Got to say, he's been a revelation in Germany. He's now into his 4th season with RP Leipzig. I think he's got 88 goals in 150 games in all competitions. He's got a contract with Leipzig until 2023. And I think he's got 27 goals in 36 games this season. And he is only at the age of 24, is Timo Werner. So I probably would take him at Manchester United, to be quite honest with you. He's a former Stuttgart player and he did actually become the youngest player to represent Stuttgart. So would you take Werner at Manchester United? As you all know, the other striker that's been on our agenda is Harry Kane. Now, I'm not going to fully, disregard Harry Kane to Manchester United, when the transfer window reopens. I'm not going to fully disregard it, but my verdict on this is that, I don't see Kane coming to Manchester United. I'm very, very sceptical about it, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, it was coming out from a number of media outlets yesterday saying that Harry Kane will be allowed to join Manchester United on one condition, and that's, if we're willing to meet Tottenham's asking price. And Tottenham, have said they want a world record fee of £200 million if they are willing to offload Harry Kane. I think another main explanation why Tottenham are looking to offload Harry Kane is, to ease their financial worries. Because Tottenham, of course, are still paying for their £1 billion stadium. So I think they owe, is it 630 odd million on the stadium loan and around £83 million in transfer fees. So I think, they are looking to offload Harry Kane. I'm just very, very sceptical that Manchester United, will pay up to £200 million for the player because, like I've said before, Timo Werner's a much cheaper solution than Kane. Halland's a much cheaper solution than Kane. Even Moussa Dembele, he's a much cheaper solution than Harry Kane. But I just don't see Manchester United getting him in on the board. Now, Daniel Levy, said that Tottenham will let him go, providing that their asking price is met. But there's been a few clubs that have been in for Harry Kane, like I mentioned. Also, to Real Madrid have been in for him. Real Madrid are looking to, get more players in, when the transfer window reopens. Despite the fact that they signed around, 5 or 6 players last summer, Real Madrid, and spent a good 300 odd million, was it? They're also looking to get rid of players as well. Looking to get rid of James Rodriguez. They're looking to get rid of Gareth Bale. Looking to get rid of Dani Ceballos on a permanent transfer. So this is what Real Madrid are willing to do. And don't forget, Real Madrid have done business with Tottenham in the past. Don't forget they got Gareth Bale off them for £85 million back in 2013. They also got Luka Modric off them. And I did say if Kane leaves Tottenham, he'll either go to Real Madrid or he could go to Juventus, because that's another club that I've been in for Harry Kane. It also says that Manchester City have expressed their interest in the player. But Kane did fuel a lot of speculation up last month, because he came out last month and made the admission saying that he could decide to leave Tottenham if he feels as though that the team are not progressing, and he quoted out he will not stay at Tottenham for the sake of it and that. And Kane has revealed his ambition, and his ambition is to win silverware. And he hasn't won out in terms of silverware during his Tottenham career. I think he's won a couple of individual awards. Didn't he win the Golden Boot twice in 2 seasons, if I'm right, reflecting on the amount of goals he scored. But he hasn't won out in terms of silverware with Tottenham. And he's been at Tottenham for several years. He's been in their senior squad since 2011. The positive is that, you know, Kane is Tottenham's third highest goal scorer with 181 goals in all competitions. Around 136 in the Premier League and just under 200 Premier League appearances. Another element of concern I've got about Kane, that he is injury prone. Kane's been out with a hamstring injury since New Year's Day, but obviously he has been working on his fitness regime. Obviously before the season that got suspended. Kane's still got around 4 years remaining on his contract with Tottenham. He's under contract with them till 2024. Don't forget, back in the summer of 2018, Kane signed a new 6-year deal with Tottenham, so he did commit his long-term future with them. Yes, he did in that. But revert back to what I said before, you know, like I said, Daniel Levy, the Tottenham chairman, he's a very, very hard negotiator, but he's also a very, very good businessman, so I've got to credit him for that. I don't know if Ed Woodward's had any negotiations with Daniel Levy. It did say he was going to have some negotiations with Daniel Levy, but like I said, we've done business with Tottenham in the past. Obviously, you know, we got Berbatov off them. We also got Michael Carrick off them, and Michael Carrick enjoyed 12 years at Manchester United. But, you know, the reports that have been coming out recently, you know, were totally comparison to the ones that were coming out the other week, because the other week it did say that Daniel Levy said that Tottenham have got no intentions of offloading Harry Kane, you know, regardless of what club offers, regardless of what offer gets put in for him, they was not willing to sell him. But let's just put this into the equation, because Sky Sports did mention today, and Sky Sports is a very reliable source, and they said that Tottenham have got no intentions of selling Harry Kane to Manchester United or any other Premier League rival. He is only the age of 26, is Kane. He's a prolific goal scorer. He's well proven in that in the Premier League. But, you know, I just think it's too much money. You know, do you think Kane is worth £200 million? Do let me know in the comments below. Odion Ighalo, again, you know, he's a much cheaper solution than Harry Kane. Odion Ighalo. I think, you know, reflecting on our links to like Harry Kane and Halland and that, you know, is this, you know, delaying us, you know, getting Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. Don't forget, Odion Ighalo did recently, you know, say that, you know, he's not yet received any offer from Manchester United to extend his stay at the football club. Reports were coming out the other week saying, you know, that Solskjaer had made an admission, and he said it's very, very likely that we're going to decide to get Odion Ighalo permanently. Ighalo did reveal that he wanted to stay, yeah. And it's said, you know, he'll cost us around £15 million if we are to get him on a permanent transfer. I think Ighalo is around 30 years of age. But I think, you know, if it had been like 4 or 5 years younger, Odion Ighalo would have cost us quite a lot more than £15 million. But we've got him on loan at the moment. We paid around 3 or 4 million to get him on loan, and Man United are paying like a third of his wages at the moment. We'll probably extend his loan because his current loan spell at the club ends on the 31st of May. So I think we're looking to extend his loan until June the 30th. Yes, we are in that, but it's not fully assured that we are going to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. Obviously, quite a few weeks ago, it did say Shanghai Shenhua, his parent club, they'd come out and offered him $400,000 a week, plus a 2-year contract extension to convince him to turn down a permanent move to Manchester United. But gotta say, he's enjoyed a good start to his Man United career as Ighalo. 4 goals in 3 starts for the football club, is it? And I think he's a very, very good cover-up to Marcus Rashford. And he's the vocal point, is Odion Ighalo. But yeah, so which striker, you know, should Manchester United sign? Do let me know in the comments below. I can honestly believe that Manchester United are going to sign Jadon Sancho when the transfer window reopens. Nothing is fully assured, but I think, you know, we will sign Jadon Sancho when the transfer window does reopen. Obviously, you know, don't forget he's recently been, on social media as Jadon Sancho. And I think he had a live, session on social media, or was it Instagram he had a live session on. There was Man United fans, you know, following him, and there was something said about sipping water if you're going to join Manchester United, and I think Sancho did it. Didn't really read the full article, but that doesn't mean he's coming to Manchester United. like I said, I read the Daily Mail earlier on today, and they said that Sancho is set to choose out of Manchester United and Real Madrid, who he's going to join when the transfer window does reopen. But I think Sancho has revealed that he wants to come to Manchester United. I think it's beneficial recommending him in because, he's got a really, really good friendship with Marcus Rashford as Jadon Sancho. And even Rashford himself did reveal that he wants Jadon Sancho at Manchester United next season. This is, what he wants. But yeah, Jadon Sancho is going to cost us a substantial amount. We're going to have to pay at least £100 million for him, or £120 million. But like I said, either figure is going to make him our most expensive signing, and it's going to make him a record signing in the Premier League. But I think we're the only club that are willing to meet his valuation. I don't think Chelsea are no longer in for him now, or he's not interested in the move to Chelsea. Don't forget Liverpool have been in for him. But he's definitely not going to leave Borussia Dortmund at the end of the season like he's already confirmed. But you already know the news anyway on Jadon Sancho. So I think in total we've got around 10 or 11 players on our agenda. And, Solskjaer's looking to sign at least 4 in the summer transfer window. Because Solskjaer does believe that, we need around 4 signings, to become title contenders next season. And, Solskjaer's, he's had, quite a few meetings, with Ed Woodward, discussing, our plans, what, players, we'd like to recruit in the summer. And Solskjaer's, got a lot of confidence, when the transfer window does reopen, because he does believe we can get the right calibre players in to the football club. Because he did say recently, that we will exploit the transfer market. Because Solskjaer knows that, there is a lot of teams under financial pressure, due to this coronavirus, and teams, will have to offload, some of their players to get money in that into their club. So this is one of the main explanations why he thinks we can get the players that we do want in. Solskjaer, of course, has identified the areas where he wants Man United to strengthen up. Like I've said to you before, he wants a centre forward, he wants a right winger. He also wants a midfielder. He wants to recommend a centre half in. And actually, I think he agreed this with Mike Phelan, was it back in September, the areas, where he wanted to address. But, he's already, revealed his plans for the summer as Solskjaer. Don't forget, he still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young players to Manchester United like he did do last summer. I think, we're going to get over £200 million to spend when the transfer window reopens. Because we'll get over £200 million, obviously, if we can sell players. Disregarding any players leaving, obviously the transfer budget is £150 million. But, around 5 or 6 players are expected to leave Manchester United in the summer transfer window and that. But, Solskjaer has got the backing of Ed Woodward. He's also got the backing of the Glazers. And don't forget, a lot of United fans this season, including me, have really, really criticised Solskjaer. But Solskjaer hasn't only been the problem for this season. Obviously, a lot of United fans have been doubting, the club's ownership, which is the Glazers, who have also, been, criticising Ed Woodward a lot. The Glazers have been here since 2005, so they've been here 15 years now. Ed Woodward, I think he's been here since 2012, and he's been at Man United now around 8 years. Ed Woodward's been here. Obviously, there was problems, with quite a lot of the players earlier on in the season because they weren't performing to their standards and that. So analyse it this season, there has been various issues in that. But like I said, Solskjaer does deserve at least another season at Manchester United. This is his first full season at the moment, so let's put that into the equation. He has been here now nearly 16 months, or is it 16 months? He's been permanent Manchester United manager for around 12 months. And that. So he has been here now for quite a while, but I think he does deserve more time because it is a transition period, and like Solskjaer revealed at the beginning of the year, he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period. But, if Solskjaer's given another season, he knows that he's got, much bigger expectations to exceed, than the ones he had to exceed this season. I did say, the expectations this season, at the start of the season, that would have been, to, probably, finish in the top four and qualify for the Champions League. Obviously we didn't expect us to win the league or mount any kind of title challenge up this season. But like I said, going into next season, and if his expectations probably, will be to challenge for the title. If we can get the right players in the summer. But he does deserve more time at the football club, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, without a shadow of a doubt. And, if he's still here in the when the transfer window reopens, it will be his fourth transfer window as Manchester United manager. It'll be his fourth one, because so far Solskjaer's endured 3 transfer windows at the club, and he spent around £220 million on 5 players. So the 5 players that he brought in, have done really, really well. But there's only 5 players that are his. Like I said, the vast majority of these players are Jose Mourinho's, because Jose Mourinho recommended 11 players into the football club. Now Solskjaer, is inheriting the vast majority of them. He's inheriting a couple of players even from the Van Gaal era. Like I said, Van Gaal brought a lot of players in. Van Gaal brought the likes of Schneiderlin, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Falcao, Di Maria, Daley Blind, Memphis Depay, and there's probably others as well he brought in, Louis Van Gaal. But, Louis Van Gaal recruited a lot of players in, but I think he actually, got rid of around 20 odd, did Louis Van Gaal, if I'm going to be honest with you. You still got Maria from the David Moyes era. I think there's only 2 players here now from the Alex Ferguson era, and, that's Phil Jones and David De Gea. But yeah, Solskjaer's inheriting players, that other managers, of course, have brought in. And yeah, so he's still in the process of rebuilding, and it's very imperative as well that we can get some silverware on the board under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because we haven't won out yet in terms of silverware under Solskjaer. Obviously, when the season does eventually resume, we've got a good chance of winning the Europa League, because we are into the last 8 of the Europa League. We've got a great chance of winning the FA Cup, because we are into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. As it stands in the league table at the moment, we are sitting 5th, 3 points behind Chelsea. And I definitely think, that Man United can get qualification for the Champions League. But, we've only won 3 trophies in the last, 6 or 7 years. So we've only won 3 trophies since, Alex Ferguson's retirement. And that was the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho, and the FA Cup under Louis Van Gaal era. But, we haven't won the Premier League for 7 years. The last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season, back in 2013 and that. But like I said, we are still one of the biggest clubs in the world, and we are the most successful team in England, because we've got 20 titles, 13 of them Premier Leagues. Of course, we've won 12 FA Cups. We are the second most successful team in FA Cup history. We've won 3 European Cups. The last Champions League we won was back in 2008 against Chelsea in Moscow. Won about 4 or 5 League Cups, haven't we? One of the club's greatest achievements, of course, was in 1999, when we won the treble. That was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's most iconic moment as a player. It's over 20 years ago now, that. But we have been playing catch-up for the last 6 or 7 years, because, like I said, we've had different managers with different philosophies. We've spent nearly close to the £1 billion range on bringing new players in, and we've recruited over 30 odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era and that. I don't think, Solskjaer, can replicate Ferguson's, legacy in that. But I think, he can follow Ferguson's method, and build the next great Manchester United team and that. But you can see what Solskjaer's trying to implement at the club. He wants to, build a side, that can replicate, what the team did, when we had, of course, Alex Ferguson. But, Solskjaer, was a great player for us. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance and that. And, he enjoyed 11 years as a player for Manchester United. Solskjaer has got that proven pedigree as a player. But I think as a manager, he's totally comparison. He's inexperienced as a manager, but the longer he remains in the Man United job, he's going to be gaining more experience. So let's just put that into the equation. He's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's come in, because we've seen around 9 players leaving total, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, came in. You know, some players have left on permanent transfers, some, you know, went out on loan and that. We've also extended quite a lot of players' contracts, you know, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer come in, so that's also another positive. We was in a good run of form, you know, before the football season got suspended. You know, because, you know, we are actually, you know, unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions, and this is our best vein of form since Solskjaer was the interim manager in that. You know, so yeah, he deserves more time at the football club. I think he does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows, does Solskjaer. Definitely deserves at least a couple of more transfer windows. I give you the news already, didn't I? Like I mentioned on Paul Pogba on my last video and that. I do believe Paul Pogba's going to be leaving Manchester United in when the transfer window does reopen. I think his first choice is Juventus, is Paul Pogba's. It is his first choice because obviously he's a former Juventus player. Don't forget Paul Pogba endured 4 years with Juventus. Obviously, you know, we bought him back in 2016 for £89 million, so he is our most expensive signing, and the vast majority of his performances at Man United have been totally comparison to his ones in Turin. As you all know, Pogba gave an interview to the United podcast, and he actually, you know, revealed that his mother, you know, always told him, you know, that he would return to Manchester United. And also too, Paul Pogba did reveal, you know, that his family advised him, you know, to leave Man United for Juventus back in 2012. Because at that point, I think it was, you know, Pogba did have conversations with his mother and his angry brother. And, you know, this is what, you know, made him leave Manchester United. Because don't forget, we had Paul Pogba under the Alex Ferguson era, but he left due to limited appearances. And, you know, if he doesn't go back to Juventus, I can see actually, you know, Paul Pogba going to Real Madrid and that. So, yeah. So, you already know the news on Paul Pogba, don't you? When the season does eventually resume, he should be back in action, should Pogba. Obviously, you know, he's been also talking about, you know, the issues he's had with injuries this season, because he's only played 8 times this season as Paul Pogba. His appearances have been limited at the football club. But yeah, I think, you know, if we're to sell him without any swap deal involved, I think we've said we want at least £100 million for the player. But yeah, so Solskjaer's going to get rid of a good 5 or 6 players, you know. He's going to get rid of a good 5 or 6, and I've already gone through with you, you know, the players that I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to axe. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching. And I will be back on with more videos tomorrow.